In my opinion, business is one of the best ways to make money. You can pass it on generation after generation if done well. But there's a few challenges. You can have a really good product or service, but the challenge is getting people to know that your product or service exists. So back in the day, what companies used to do is to put their ads on TV. So everyone is sitting there around the TV watching TV, the ads come, and all of a sudden now you know that there's a brand of cornflakes that is really good for you, or you know the ads that we get. So this was what a lot of companies used to get awareness of their product or service. But you know what? Nowadays, things have changed slightly because TV is not the most popular watched medium anymore. In fact, it's YouTube. YouTube is more popular now than TV. So nowadays, people can just go on their app or go on social media and pretty much see a lot of content. So here's the thing. The question now is, let's say you've set up a product or a service. How can you really get people to know that your product exists? Well, in this video, I'm going to share some tips and techniques that you can apply today that can make your business flourish. And these are tried and tested. I've also used this in my business and it has worked flawlessly. So here's the thing. You have your audience, which are people that are ready to buy your product or service. And by the way, when you create your product or service, you want to be solving a problem, okay? You don't want to create a product for the sake of creating it or a service for the sake of creating a service. You need to be solving a problem. So let's say you've done that. So you know you have your audience. So to get people to know that your product or service exists, you need now to use social media, because very few of us can afford to create commercials that go on television. So social media now is going to replace the television, or it's going to act as our medium to show people that our product or service exists out there. And I'm really excited about this because now we can tap into businesses from pretty much anywhere in the world, because you don't have to have BBC for you to see the commercials of something that's being sold in Zimbabwe. In fact, that will be quite difficult. So here's the thing. The example I'm going to give you in this video is, let's say you're running a business in Zimbabwe and your target audience is in the diaspora. Now this, can be very, very, very good, because you know that people in the diaspora, they need services on the ground and they have disposable income or have even better ways to make payments online for a product or service that is on the ground in Zimbabwe. So this is the example that I'm giving. So there are so many ways or so many type of businesses that can be run this way. For example, you can have a private fitness trainer. Again, maybe you have your mom or some relatives that you want to get fit or you want them to recover. You pay for the service online and it's delivered on the ground. It can be catering services. Perhaps maybe you want to have a wedding, a birthday, or whatever it is. You hire your services online, it gets delivered on the ground. It may be you're buying car parts and you go online, you buy the car parts from the UK, payments go through, they get delivered on the ground. So as you can see, the list is very long of doing business in this manner. And for a lot of people in the diaspora, they tend to prefer to do it this way, because if money is exchanging hands on the ground, a lot of things can happen. So making sure you're managing the money online will be a fantastic way of running your business. All right, so this can also be done using very few techniques, and I'll explain this in a basic form first, and then I'll expand into it. So you start off with social media. So let's say in this example, you have a catering business. The catering business, no one knows about it, and pretty much you're cooking in your kitchen or in your small factory. Who the hell knows that you have a business out there? Absolutely no one. So what you do is you first create social media accounts. You go to TikTok, you can go to Facebook, YouTube, and so on, create your accounts. So the question now is, what content are you creating to let people know that you have a catering business? This is where now you have to listen very carefully, because this part is very, very important. Now, before I give you the answer, I want to give an example of what I did. So when I set up my design agency in the UK, I was designing websites and I also used to do graphic design. So what I did was I started creating tutorials online, and some of you, of course, have seen my tutorials on web design and marketing and so on. I mean, this is on a separate channel, by the way. And some of you have actually thanked me because the value that I gave in those videos was so good that they managed to set up their own businesses or even set up their own websites. And sometimes I'm very happy to hear that those videos that I created have actually made a change in someone's life. So this is the strategy that you need to use. So if you run a catering business, you want to be creating videos where you're teaching people how to cook. I know it doesn't make sense, but trust me, it does. Because when you show people that you can cook, basically you are selling without selling. Because sometimes I want to see that, you know, you're cooking your stew in a perfect way and I like the way you're cooking. People are tasting it. You get positive feedback, but I can't be bothered to do it. So because you've created that stew and it's very, very nice and people are commenting on it, that means that you know what you're doing. So it's an easy sell, you know, because I'm just going to go in and say, okay, I want that stew that you made that a lot of people gave you feedback on. And that is how you make business. Another example is, let's say you're a fitness trainer, you are training people and maybe the goal is for someone to lose weight. So you go on them on a 6-week program, 12 months program, whatever it is. And you show the before and afters of how you're going about it, how you're training, the discipline that goes into it, the dieting that goes into it, and all the tips. You're showing them online on your social media platforms. So now when people come across your channel, automatically they want to now come to you because you've shown results of your services and it's proof that it works. So this is the strategy that we need to be applying. Now, once you've done that, it doesn't really end there. Now, this is where a lot of people get it wrong. They just go on social media and they just put all their content and they're stuck there. They just put a phone number and that's it. Well, this is good, but it is not very good because sometimes you want repeat customers. So this is where now you want to have a website to go along with this. So the people now go on your website to do the orders, the bookings and everything. Yes, you can do it over the phone, on social media, WhatsApp and all of that. But if you want to do it professionally and something and in a way that you can manage, this needs to be on a website. So your website has a form where people can go in, fill in information. And by filling in the information, you're going to get an alert that you've had someone inquiring or someone who's just done a booking. So let's say next year you want to do more of these bookings. And in the meantime, you have 100 customers. You can now go to that same email and give them some offers. You could even say, hey, do you know anyone who wants to do an event? I can do some catering for them. I'm giving 20% discount. Or those people in that list can actually get a discount from you. So you could say to people, anyway, my charges are $1,000, but if you get me a customer, I can do it for you for $800, right? You can just do a discount from existing customers. And this is also another way of getting word of mouth. So as you can see, it's very, very powerful and easier to manage when it's on the website. If you do it on a WhatsApp, yes, for 1, 2, 3, 4 customers, it's fine. But the moment you start getting a lot of customers, you're going to be overwhelmed and it's going to be very difficult to manage because on a website, you can add project management tools there, you can add booking tools and so on. So this is why this part of the website is very, very important. Now, on our online community, I will be doing in-depth tutorials showing people how to set up their businesses and making sure it links up with the online aspect of it because this is very, very powerful. So the reason why I'm really excited about the business which attaches to social media and the internet is in Zimbabwe now there is Starlink. And Starlink now has made things easier for anyone in the UK selling services in Zimbabwe on the ground because now people can access the internet much, much easier. And, you know, it's unbelievable how this is so powerful now in Zimbabwe. If you start now, before the online business area is flooded, you can actually create your brand and it can last a very long time. When people start catching on to this, I mean, you would have, you know, pretty much gone very, very far. So I would say if you want to do a business right now where you are serving people in Zimbabwe and you have your business running in the diaspora, then definitely you want to apply this strategy, social media, plus a website, and just create your brand that way. Sometimes you can even do before and afters of whatever service or business that you're doing. Maybe you're delivering some products, just doing a video testimonial also goes a very long way. So this is how you need to start thinking about business. Gone are the days where, it's pretty much the phone or text messages. This is how it's done in a modern way. And these are the sort of things that you need to apply. So you may be asking, well, designing a website could be very difficult. Well, yes, but if you do a bit of research, in fact, if you even go online, I've done so many tutorials where I'll design a website from start to end. It is very straightforward. And a lot of tutorials are out there, and it's not very expensive. Back in the day, designing a website used to be very, very expensive. Of course, if you want something very custom and you know exactly what you want, that's different. You're going to be spending quite a few thousands on a video. In fact, right now, as we speak, I'm actually working on a website for a client, and the quotation was about £3,000 for that type of website. Of course, it has a lot of features here and there. I may also talk about it on this channel as well, so that at least you can see the process of how to put together a website that actually brings results. So as you venture into business, whether you're in the diaspora or in Zimbabwe, and you want to attract people in a professional way, this is how you need to start thinking about business. A lot of you say, oh, you know what? I have 1,000 chickens or 2,000 chickens, but the market is difficult to get. This is the part that you need to focus on. You need to create your market. You need to do the marketing. This is the most difficult part, and this is the part that you need to start doing slowly. So any industry works. Like I said, if you go into catering, start showing videos of you cooking, right? Getting people to taste the food. Or the process of cooking. If you're a fitness trainer, show people the exercises, the food, the dieting, the tips of how they can what? How can they can lose weight, or how can they get fitter, and so on. If you're a plumber, show people before and afters. You're fitting in plumbing on a new house estate, before, afters. If you're an electrician, you show people how you're doing everything, before and afters. So this goes very, very far. Now, one may say, well, you know what? I'll stick to a Facebook group. I've tried it, and sometimes, okay, it works, but if you're running a bigger business, then this doesn't look very professional. On the ground, yes, it may work. I mean, I had a Facebook group where I would broadcast that the chickens are available, broadcast in the group, and people would come and buy. But what I noticed was sometimes you can broadcast a message in the WhatsApp group. People are busy. They're on so many WhatsApp groups. They won't get that message, and they'll still call you or text you and ask you if there's chickens around. That was very frustrating for me. So I won't be really using the Facebook groups as a way of advertising locally. I mean, I'll find other ways of doing it, because that way it didn't really work for me. And anyway, as I mentioned before, going for bigger orders would be the best way to go about it. The single chickens, yes, it's okay here and there, but of course it needs to be run as a business that is catering for at least, 1,000 or 2,000 chickens per week. But anyway, that's a topic of another day. My question to you now is, how are you running your businesses? Are you applying this system? Have you tried it before? Let me know if it's working for you. And also, if you haven't joined the online community, go to ruwaorganic.com. Join the community there. It's 100% free. It's a community of like-minded people where we build, inspire, and encourage each other to succeed in life. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.